Welcome to another day of Writer's Workshop. Today I'm going to teach you something really cool. I'm going to teach you how we can use something called a writing checklist to help ourselves become a better writer. Our learning target for today's writing workshop says, I can use a writing checklist to help myself become a better writer. So a writing checklist is kind of like a little guide that tells you what you need to do in order to be an awesome writer. And you know a little bit about that because of our 5-star writing that we've done. You guys have used our 5-star writing to look and to check to make sure that your writing is readable, that people can read it, to make sure that you have capitals and periods and spacing. And so today I'm going to show you how we can extend that a little bit to become even better writers. So these are all the things that you need to be able to do to become an awesome writer. Now, I have to tell you, you guys have already been doing such a great job. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Are you ready to hear it? One way that writers can become even better is by carefully looking over every little part of their writing. So I'm going to review our little writing checklist with you. And then at the end of my lesson today, I want you to take out a piece of your own writing. And I want you to check to see if you have all of these things in your writing. We've talked a lot about language words, like starting your story with one day or saying something like, first I did this. We've also talked about putting our pages in order and showing what happened last in your story, like saying finally or lastly, and then saying words like the end. We also want to make sure our story is in order, that we have organization so that when we reread it, we understand our story. So when you're doing your writing, you also want to make sure you have elaboration. We've talked a lot about this, saying who was there, what happened, and how it happened. You can even write about how your characters felt. You could say, I was happy or I was sad. And then you want to write about some details in your story. This example says, I ran super fast. So instead of saying, I ran fast, the writer wrote an extra word. I ran super fast. And then another really important thing is we have to get our spelling and our punctuation correctly. We have to make sure that we hear every sound in the word and write down every sound we hear, making sure that we have a vowel in every single word. And then we have to put spaces, and we have to put sight words, and we have to do capitalization the correct way and punctuation in our story. So Mrs. Ferris is going to put a copy of this writing checklist in your next packet pickup, which will be soon, so that you can have your own copy and you can go over to these boxes and say, not yet, starting to, or yes, I have all of these things in my story. So today, as you're writing your story, I just want you to be thinking about some of the things that Mrs. Ferris reviewed with you. I'm also going to attach a picture of this writing checklist. I know you won't have it printed out. Well, you could print it out if you want to, but if you don't have access to a printer, you can just look at it on our Canvas page and you can kind of scroll through to see if you have all of these things in your writing. So your job today is just to get out It's just to get out one piece of writing that you've already completed from your writing folder, and then just focus on one thing you might need to do better on. Now, it's okay if you don't have all of these things yet. You don't have to feel sad for yourself or cry or feel like you're not a good writer. I just want you to focus on maybe one thing you can get better at. And then I also want you to reread your writing and congratulate yourself. Say, I'm doing such a good job. I have a lead for every single page. Or maybe you're doing really good with elaboration and saying who and what and where and how. So make sure to look over your writing and think of one or two things that you're really proud of yourself about for your writing. And then you can go back and you can try to fix up some of your writing to see if you need to add any of these things on our checklist today.